Hello viewers, welcome to Science TV 4 p.m. news with me Edna Kainde and my sign language interpreter doing the voicing Irene Chebiwot. 7 people have died and several others injured after a public service vehicle PSV crashed into a stationary lorry along the Webuye Eldoret Highway in Western Kenya. The accident occurred at Muhonje in Lugari, where the lorry had reportedly stalled on the roadside due to mechanical problems. Western Regional Police Commander Isa Mohamud said the PSV rammed into the parked truck, claiming 7 lives on the spot. Those injured were rushed to nearby hospitals for treatment, with authorities noting that the absence of warning signs may have contributed to severity of the collision. Locals at the scene reportedly looted some of the lorry's cargo before police secured the area and began emergency response efforts. Authorities have urged drivers to exercise caution and for roadside safety measures to be improved to prevent similar accidents during the busy festive travel period. Moving on, 2 people have lost their lives and several others sustained injuries after a stampede erupted during a Christmas gift distribution event hosted by Busia Governor Paul Otuoma at his Matayos residence. The event, intended to bring festive cheer to local residents, drew large crowds eager to receive food and other gifts, leading to chaos as people rushed to the venue. Eyewitnesses described scenes of panic and confusion as the crowd surged forward, making it difficult for organizers to maintain order. Some attendees were pressed in the crash and later rushed to nearby hospitals, where at least 2 were pronounced dead. The incident has left many residents shaken and mourning the sudden loss of life. Community members and leaders have called for stricter safety measures and better crowd management during public events to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Authorities have pledged to investigate the circumstances surrounding the stampede and provide updates as they work to ensure such incidents do not reoccur. Moving on, detectives have made a breakthrough in the murder of a 60-year-old Millicent Wahura Mwangi, whose dismembered upper body was found dumped by the roadside in mid-November. In a statement, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI said the victim's second-born son, Benson Maina Mwangi, has been arrested as the prime suspect in the killing. The case began on November 11, 2025, when Millicent was reported missing at Olkalau Police Station after disappearing from her home in Mireri Village, Nyandarua Central Sub-County. 3 days later, members of the public discovered a female body part stuffed in a sack in Rumathi village along the Malewa-Kipipiri Road. The remains were preserved at J.M. Kariuki Memorial Funeral Home and later positively identified by the family as those of Millicent, confirming she had been murdered. Following forensic-led investigations, DCI homicide detectives arrested the suspect on November 20th at a hideout in Kamulu. He was arraigned in court and detained for 21 days to allow further investigations. On December 23rd, detectives conducted a crime scene reconstruction and recovered key items, including a machete, believed to be murder weapon, as the investigations continue ahead of the next court mention on January 19, 2026. On to our other news. Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro has described the impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua as a costly political mistake, saying the move has had negative repercussions for the ruling coalition. Nyoro's comments come amid debate over the fallout from the unprecedented impeachments, which saw Gachagua removed from office in October 2024 over allegations of misconduct. Nyoro, a key figure in the United Democratic Alliance UDA and a former ally of both President William Ruto and Gachagua, suggested that the removal may have weakened party unity and affected the coalition's broader political strategy ahead of upcoming elections. He warned that such decisions can be long-term consequences for political stability. Gachagua became the first sitting deputy president in Kenya's history to be impeached, with lawmakers citing corruption and undermining of government authority. The fallout continues to influence political alliances, with some leaders questioning whether the impeachment was in the best interest of the country. Moving on, the High Court has declined to lift injunctions blocking the payment of over 6 billion shillings linked to the National Youth Service (NYS) air supply scandal. The orders, initially granted to halt disbursement of funds allegedly linked to forged off or fictitious contracts, have been extended pending further hearing, ensuring the payments remain suspended. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission (EACC) moved to court seeking to stop the NYS from releasing the distributed funds, citing irregularities in the contracts presented by several supplier companies. In response, some of the suppliers challenged the freeze, arguing that it has unfairly affected their businesses and demanded access to payment voucher and supporting documents held by the EACC. The court directed the EACC to release the payment vouchers and related documents to the claimants by the close of business while maintaining the block on the actual payment. The ruling aims to balance transparency, accountability, while safeguarding public funds as investigations into the alleged NYS fraud continue. On to our final news. A Nairobi cab driver who was captured in viral videos being assaulted by a group of women has narrated how the incident unfolded outside the Black Samurai nightclub. He said he was picking up a male client who was already seated in the vehicle when 4 women attempted to force their way in and demanded that the original passenger leave. The driver said the women turned violent after he declined, damaging his car and physically attacking him. He claimed they broke side mirrors, ripped off the rear wiper, dented the vehicle and attempted to force entry through the windows, leaving him unable to continue working. Police were called to the scene, but the driver later said he was compelled to withdraw the case due to lack of evidence. The incident has drawn widespread condemnation, with several leaders calling for justice for the driver. Gender Affairs Principal Secretary Anne Wangombe described the assault as unacceptable, while Nairobi County Governor Mike Sonko demanded swift police action against those responsible. That's all we had for you, our viewers. Thank you for joining us for the 4 p.m. news. You've been with me, Edna Kaindi, and my sign language interpreter doing the voicing, Irene Chebiot. Have a good evening and goodbye.